So I just wanted to introduce everybody to Louise Loughlin. She runs the FAB transformation program. She's a transformation coach, highly experienced and highly qualified. You could let them know, Louise, what is it that you are qualified in? And before you went online, what have you done?
Before personal training, but also neuromuscular therapy and Pilates instruction as well.
Wow. How many years have you doing that?
That has been the last 10 years.
Wow. So highly experienced.
Yes. And looking to go online because being in one place for me isn't probably ideal. So and wanting to travel and move abroad was in my plan, but also wanting to keep the clients that I had. So that's kind of why I came to you and why I had tried online before, but it just wasn't working.
Okay. Why wasn't it working? What was happening?
I guess I really didn't understand what I was doing.
Okay.
Because there is a method to it, and I didn't realize there was such a method to it, and I wasn't just fully committed to it as well. I think trying to do that on your own as well as all the other work, it was just impossible for me. It was impossible.
Yeah, it's tough on your own. It's possible on your own, but it takes a lot longer, doesn't it? And it's a lot harder.
Yeah, you have to give it a lot more hours. You have to give it a lot. Yeah, you just have to give it a lot more trial and error. So
yes,
maybe that's what I was doing, but it was all trial and error, but it wasn't really working.
yes. And what was your life like with clients? I know when we were talking on the phone, you were like, "Oh, I'm in the car and I'm driving like here and there." And what was that like?
The months before we got in touch, it was just crazy. I mean, I was driving nearly 2 hours each way every day, sometimes between Leitrim, Galway and Mayo, and it was just hectic. I was just going on autopilot. I was living out of my car nearly,
I know
and
that
just
one.
not focusing on my health with gym and food was kind of going out the window. I was eating in cars, and I was like going crazy basically.
Yes.
And just not making enough money to justify that kind of lifestyle even.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of coaches and personal trainers kind of living like that, isn't there? And they're not realizing that they could maybe expand online and take some of that stress away.
Yeah, because at that stage I was, that was months of kind of, it was just so unsocial, even just not seeing any friends and family nearly, because I was, having to start driving at 5 o'clock in the morning, or working every day on social hours, and just it becomes a sad and lonely life, and you can't do that for very long, really. You go crazy. So a few months of that, I was like, no, this has to change, or I'm going to burn out and be able for nothing.
Yeah, that's it. That's how I was, exactly the same way.
And then it's not fair on the clients, because you're burning out again, because you're trying to give them everything behind the mask, and then they will suffer in the end too. You won't be able to give them as much as you can. So I knew I had to step back before the clients were going to be the ones to benefit from my burnout.
Yeah, no, it's a really good point, because I think if we're not, first of all, getting rewarded for it financially, we're not going to show up like fully as ourselves, and we start to maybe get annoyed with clients, get impatient, and it's kind of a vicious circle, isn't it, then when it goes like that, and so you wanted to change that, and you did change it. What kind of like results did you get? Like, how has your life changed then from doing the mentoring, doing the program with me, and going online? Like, how's your life different now? Well, it's very different.
Well, I went through a lot of changes all at the same time, so that was the hard part. It's completely different. It's having extra breathing spaces, is quite good. and being able to do everything online is it's nearly magical, because it just helps me to be able to have an income and to be able to work and still do what I love doing without having that barrier of being abroad and, you know, having to look for work or having to get a visa to work and different things like that. So it's a real huge answer to the barrier that was, you know, happening for me.
Yeah.
So to be able to move everything online, it's
You moved countries, didn't you, Louise? Just for the listeners
well,
watching, just to paint
yeah,
a picture.
yeah. So I've kind of moved over and looking to kind of fully settle and move over to Hawaii, but that's kind of been my on and off dream for the last 6 years. So everything kind of started falling into place in the last 6 or 8 months. So it's definitely been accelerated, and that's been hard for me to achieve. Unlike the Hawaiians, I'm a bit laid back and easygoing. So trying to put a lighter up my arse by Sarah has been probably what I needed. Yeah, definitely what I needed, because what was happening beforehand was I was stopping and starting, and I think I didn't have that accountability. And having the accountability week to week was just making sure that I was doing things. And why I was stopping and starting was probably because I wasn't fully confident in what I was doing or sure of what I was doing. So
Yeah.
having you there as support was just, it was brilliant, because it wasn't just the business side of support. There was like you know, you've gone through this already, and that's kind of why I chose you moved country, and you did set up your own fitness business online. So I was thinking, okay, that's kind of what I want to do. So getting that support from you, you've gone through it, you know exactly kind of what I've been going through. But yeah, what I was saying was having the business support, the fitness support, but also then that mindset support, because there was a lot of changes going on in my life, and I think I would have definitely quit or not even started had I not reached out to you.
Wow. So it changed your life path a bit then.
Yeah, it was more than just a mentorship, I think, because I definitely would have fallen off the wagon or gone a bit mental trying to do it myself.
Oh yeah, like I did at the start. And about your results, you got an amazing result within kind of our first session, didn't you? Like over that weekend when you put it out there. What results did you get? If you want to share them with some people.
Yeah, the first week I, you know, implemented the strategies, and it was really through Instagram, and even learning how to do the stories on Instagram. That was monumental for me. It was incredible. I had gotten €1,000 in sales that first weekend. I think that we even worked together. Yeah, it was incredible. So I think that gave me the confidence to go, yeah, this is going to work. This is something that can work.
Yeah.
There are people out there that want to be fab.
Absolutely. You have to create them and help them to show their fabulousness.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Any other results that you got that are, I know some results are intangible because they're not about money, but any other results that would like stand out to you that you've achieved?
Probably even before I met you, I was kind of like trying to come off social media a little bit, just in my own personal life. And I think because I thought with the business, you had to be online all the time. So I think achieving a good routine of what it takes to be a successful online coach, not be online all the time, but to just do it the right ways. I think learning that was really, really important for me. But learning the systems, having those systems in place now, I mean, I can use that and take that and really, really develop on that. But also nurturing the group that I did have, having your support there was important as well, because, you know, when we're working on our own a lot, it's hard to interact with other coaches or other people who have done it before. So,
Yes.
you know, being able to talk to you week to week about that, or, you know, any time of the week was, you know, it was really, really important for me.
Yeah, and that's a massive win, to be honest, to be able to nurture a group of women, you know, in a group isn't easy, because it's very personal. You know, it's to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And all that needs to be kind of done at the time. You know, you have to, like you say, you have to kind of do it at speed or when it's hot.
Yeah, it's executing and timing, isn't it? Because often we're like, we pop
Mm-hmm.
things off. I did it so often as well as a trait, you know, and it's kind of taking messy action, I think, is what kind of pays off. And do you think that that's contributed to your success of how this happened, of where you were in the car, eating out the car, unhappy, pissed off, to living in Hawaii, coaching your women in groups and online? Do you think that that middle bit was through the kind of messy action and just like doing it?
Definitely getting that push to just do messy action was, yeah, that was monumental. That's my word for today, monumental,
Yeah.
because it was just doing the messy action. I was like in that state of, oh, everything has to be perfect. And I've kind of changed that mindset a lot and just kind of done it. And my clients don't notice that things aren't perfect. They actually reach out to me more when it's that messy action. And, you know,
Yeah.
that's just, that's probably one of those big things that was holding me back. So getting that push to keep doing it, definitely what I needed. And it definitely was successful.
Yeah, because we overthink things, don't we? I think a lot of coaches, it's like, I'll wait till I do a membership group, and it's like, no, just a Facebook group is fine, you know, and people just want it to be perfect.
Yeah, I was thinking I'll wait until I, you know, get the skills to design my own membership website. And I was like, I was doing all this other stuff, and I was thinking, and then you brought it down so simply, and it worked. And I didn't have to be forking out money to pay to membership sites or, you know, landing pages. It's all there on social media. It's all possible without having to spend all that extra money on gimmicks necessarily.
Yes, exactly, which is a lot of people's perception, I think, is that they need even a new phone or a new laptop or a new thing, and it's just not the case. It's like, you can make,
Mm-hmm.
remember, you'd had the issues with the slow laptop and a few bits, like I had the same, but you overcame those and you took action to get the results. So, you know, it's also you, it's the systems and my accountability and support, but it's also the work that you put in, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and changing that.
Yeah, when everything was starting to come together, it was, you know, it's becoming much easier,
Yes. What's
more enjoyable. I think that was the big thing in the last few weeks. I was like, now I'm getting excited about it again. You know, yeah, just the excitement of helping people and working with them, you know, and that's the most important part, because once you lose that, it's not easy to get that back. So, or it's not easy to work with clients when you're not excited about the whole transformation. So, being excited about it again, like
yeah,
I've just come out of PT school or something.
business school. Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree. And I think that that's when we can get bogged under with that, and then it starts to kill it. So it's like, it's just what you said, it's really important to enjoy it, isn't it, you know?
And I think you nearly were able to read my mind sometimes from it was as if, yeah, it was as if you knew what was going on through I must have been through my social media, different things. It was like you read my mind, and getting that feedback instantly as well through my social media. That was like, oh, that at the start was like, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Like I never
Yeah,
knew that. So getting that initial feedback was just incredible. But then a few weeks ago, you read my mind. I was just kind of thinking, I was just, maybe it was like that January blues or something. But I didn't even say anything, and you just had read my mind completely. This is what we're going to do today. And I was like, oh my God, that is exactly what I needed. How did you know that?
just like you'd know for your clients, you see, you'd know for
Yeah,
your clients, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think that comes with experience, or just, you know,
Yeah,
a greater knowledge, in especially in that mindset area, which was, for me, was a huge, huge support. especially with everything that was kind of going on in the background as well.
Yeah, it's
A
intense.
lot of,
Like
yeah.
It's yeah, and the real-time thing is so important. And what Louise means by that is if she had Instagram stories or Facebook posts, I wouldn't wait till our session to give feedback. I'd be on her like a hound dog, probably quite annoyingly, but I'd be like, Louise, you need to reduce the size of your text, or mention this or mention that, you know. So I think that's really, really, really important, other than waiting another week for a call with your mentor, you know, not knowing day by day like what you need to adjust, you know.
Some of those messages were very, very long, so you know, people, you know, it wasn't just like one-liners going do this. It was there was a lot of information about that, and I was like, oh my god, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, it's the system is there, and it's, until you know it, it's like, oh, that's what I should have been doing. So having that to go forward is fabulous.
Yeah, brilliant. And what struggles came up for you along the way in these 12 weeks that we had together? Like, what were some of your biggest struggles that you kind of overcame?
A lot.
Let's break them down to maybe the top something.
The time difference.
Yeah.
I think just figuring things out, and being able to bounce those things off you, just like, what, you know, what am I supposed to do? How many times do I post? What times are hot times? And then even just trying to get all that right in my head.
Confusing.
Struggling to take action, and you helped me overcome that with just getting it done, and that, you know, that worked. And just staying accountable as well. I think there was a lot of tough love, and you need to do this, and you know, I can't. And when you feel it, you know, when it hurts your feelings, you're like, yeah, I needed that. Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't going to get done otherwise, you know. And I really appreciated it, although it kind of was like,
I know.
I think it was, but it wasn't coming from not wanting to do it. It was coming from, maybe, I think we had this like conversation maybe a few weeks ago, and you got me to look through different frames, and I was like, that is exactly kind of what's happening. Where I think the more knowledge you nearly gather, the more you can kind of step away and say, be that, you know, have that imposter syndrome and think, the more you know, the less you know.
Yes.
The more you know, the less you know. I think because when you're that fresh-faced graduate from PT or from university, you're really confident about thinking that you know everything, and you probably know you know the least then. But then you have all this experience, and then I think I was looking too much at peers or other people online, just seeing what they were doing, or even just looking at, you know, other I'm doing another nutrition course as well, and just looking at different things and thinking I need to be like that. And
yes,
so I think you were able to bring me, comparing, and I think you were able to just level me.
That's so cool, because I did it for years, the information gathering, the shiny objects, the free ebooks, the downloadable things, the emails and all that shit. And in the meanwhile, we're not actually taking action, and we convince ourselves that that's taking action, but it actual fucking action, you know. So and like, what would you say to a personal trainer or a nutritionist or a kind of a coach out there who's like, well, you know, why would I consider mentoring? Like, whether it was with me or someone else, because it doesn't bother me at all, like who it's with. I just believe that each coach and trainer deserves and needs a mentor. Like, it's what accelerated me into closing down Galway Kettlebells, into setting up Boss Lady, selling year-long training packages, and then to Boss Lady online, and now into mentorship. Me being a mentor has been through me investing in mentors. But I know for some coaches it's a big thing, and they're really afraid of investing, and they're just like, whoa, and there's a huge issue there. So just what advice would you give, like, to people who are kind of on the fence with it?
If you're on the fence with it, like I have for the last 2 years, and I have been on calls with other people, but, you know, jump out and reach that call with Sarah, because you'll see from the conversation if you can work together and if you're a good fit. And I saw that from our first call. And I think it it's so important to have that support there, and for someone who's already gone through it, that kind of knows every single aspect. And like I said, you were reading my mind sometimes. I was blown away with some of that. But and then the mindset work is something you don't get from everyone, and
It's so
some people need to be pushed on that. So, and that that stuff is, that's worth its weight in gold, I think. Because a lot of other things you can teach yourself, and you can be maybe strict and accountable with yourself.
Yeah.
But if you want to get it done, and learn the systems a lot quicker, it accelerates it.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it, because I think people just want the tactics. They're like, no, give me the templates, give me the sheets. And it's like so much of it is mindset that they're not realizing that that isn't a strategy. There's a difference, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
A strategy and a tactic, or every day scrambling for stuff to do, chasing your tail.
Yeah, because you're creating your own story then. You're not, following someone else's, or, you're able to create your own story from it. You're not following the diet.
Yes.
The Pro diet.
Exactly. Yeah. And when it came to investing in yourself, how did you feel about that? Did you struggle with that? And would you say that it's worth investing, not necessarily in me, but generally in mentorship as a business investment? The way people are spending a lot really on Pilates course, another kettlebell course, physical courses versus business investment mentoring.
Yeah, I wish I had done, I had spent so much on courses. I wish I had, invested that money into mentorship like much, much sooner. I think it's far more important, because knowledge is nothing without experience. And I think having a mentor who's experienced, you're gaining so much more knowledge. Really, it's like doing an apprenticeship nearly. It's just, that sort of learning and doing at the same time is just far more beneficial.
Yeah.
And yeah, kind of coming up with the money was difficult, but I think it was probably one of those things I was more sure of than anything else, than any other will I, won't I. Everything was happening at the right time, and it was like, this is my time to do it. If I don't do it now, it'll never happen, or I'll keep making excuses. So I kind of just dived into it. And it was kind of difficult at the time, because I was moving and trying to get a lot of things sorted. So it was quite difficult for me to do it. But if I didn't do it, I'd be stuck with nothing. So I think just you have to be pushed out of your comfort zone. So that's where I was, right out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, and I think it's very similar to clients, when they say to us, well, no, I've got to wait till the house is done up, and the kids are going back to school, and I've got this wedding, and rah, 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 rah. And then it's like there's never going to be a right time. And I think a lot of coaches are saying that. They're like, well, I'm expanding the gym, or no, I've just finished a precision nutrition course or something like this, and they're convincing themselves that the right time will come along, but generally it doesn't. It's like life can get in the way if we let it, so we get it.
Yeah, I definitely get that. And it was something, it wasn't an easy decision to make, but it was kind of it kind of was an easy decision to make. I was 100% sure I wanted to do it. So
yeah, well, it's kind of, but the magic lies is in a risk, isn't it? And it is a risk. It's like, oh, this is a big thing. But I think also with such a big why for you, which was to move like from Ireland to Hawaii, was quite a big driver probably for you, wasn't it? To take that risk and to like just do it,
Yeah, and it's hard when you have to accept all the nice things that happen to you.
Like your luggage that your luggage was kept, wasn't it, or something like that happened on the journey, and all sorts of shit like came up.
Yeah. Oh, a lot of problems on the journey over. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My luggage got lost, and even just, yeah, coming in and trying to get through customs and different things. It was just a crazy couple of weeks, and landed into Hawaii for Thanksgiving, and jet lag, and it was just
But she
in
should.
a different world.
You still showed up every week, twice a week on our Zoom calls, and you still implemented and took messy action. And that's how Louise has been successful and will continue to be. And what I was wondering then is, like, what's next for you? Like, are you looking to grow your kind of you've shifted from personal training to more like female fat loss transformation. So what's next for you? Are you looking to kind of grow that? What's on the cards?
Yes, to grow that, and build on that, because I think the more I've been nurturing, like, the group that I have, it's been giving me a lot of good feedback, a lot of good tools, a lot of good knowledge to be able to grow it and expand it. And I'm putting in a lot of information. I'm finally getting it all kind of down, and it's not perfect, but it's there, and the clients don't know any different.
Yeah.
So nurturing that group, and maybe developing more into one-to-ones as well, and longer term.
Yeah.
And then my other thing would be to maybe look at setting up some retreats for people to come out to Hawaii.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a dream if I could kind of nail that down and get that sorted. So
Yeah, or a goal. I mean, it's completely possible. I've held retreats and people love retreats.
mm-hmm.
I think, that's a definite goal. I think sometimes with something like a retreat could take like nearly 6 months or a year's planning. But I could completely see you doing that, and women need you. So I think it's a great idea.
That would be fabulous. I definitely want to come.
Me too. Me too. Well, I wish you every success, and I'm sure everybody else who's listening and watching this does as well. I hope you continue to forge forward and take messy action and get even more amazing results and help even more people.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you.
My absolute pleasure. It is easy to polish a diamond.
Thank you. It's been fabulous.
Well done.